Okay, so let's have a look at our entry criteria in picture perfect format for when we're looking for sells when supply is serving. I'm going to start off on the high time frame here, and this is what we're looking for when I say are we pro trend on the higher time frame. And basically either on the daily and or the 4-hour, want to see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then for price to come back within our previous supply range, and then we can usually have a refined point of interest to play from as well, and that's when we can start going down to the 15-minute and looking for our entry model, and combined with our 1-minute entry model. So basically, it just doesn't matter how long this trend is going on for, as long as we see a bit of supply range order flow and supply swing structure order flow, and these lows getting broken and the highs holding, then happy to be aggressive and just continue the trend short. Put on here as well, pro trend, if we still get a point of interest that created a flip and has inducement and all that good stuff, then even better, even stronger. Okay, but just a simple pro trend, happy days. So shuffling on over to still looking for sells, but counter trend now on the higher time frame. So we'll see demand creating higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, failed to create a higher high, right? So now supply is stepping into the market, right? Comes down, test this strong level of demand. So demand's got to have a say, got to have a chance to continue the trend long. Why is this level of demand strong? Because it broke structure. Yeah, so this is a strong level of demand. It's getting tested, but still fails to continue the trend long, and instead supply breaks demand serve, and we go short. So what we can see here is on these breakout trades, there'll be a lot of stops and orders above the previous high. Okay, and this is what we call inducement. This is like fuel for the move. Alright, and when we counter trend, we want as much fuel as possible. And I don't want to take entries from the inducement from this previous high, even though sometimes price does go the inducement, but I like to play from the extremities. Okay, so all this here will be like any amount of time, X amount of time. This could be years, doesn't matter. And what you'll see is price action being quite bullish and coming back into the strong point of interest. But because this is an area, this is a point of interest that has created a flip between demand and supply, and it has fuel for the move, and it is like swept fuel for the move. If we get an 15-minute entry model, then this is justified as good to go for our counter trend trade short. So then moving down to our 15-minute time frame. So on the 15-minute, it doesn't matter if we're pro or counter trend, we're looking for exactly the same setup. Alright, this demand order flow here would be us coming back into our pro trend supply range or refined point of interest, or it would be us pulling back into our strong high time frame point of interest that created a flip and has got inducement and all that good stuff. Either way, demand would be coming back into our point of interest, and we'll be seeing a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, but then demand slowed down, supply coming to the market, and it fails to create a higher high. And sometimes we can see a bit of fair price here and consolidation, whatever you want to call it, a range, liquidity being built. And then yeah, for demand to continue this trend long, we want it to have like a chance to do it. And what does price action need? It needs fuel, it needs liquidity. Okay, so we want to see demand sweep liquidity, mitigate order flow, and still fail to create a new high. Okay, and then for supply, which is actually now mitigating our higher time frame point of interest and our pro trend supply range, we've got supply order flow, is now coming into the market, can test this level of demand again, fails to break a high and instead drops inducement, and then the supply breaks demand serve. And again, same detail on the higher time frame. When the market sees this breakout, we'll have a lot of its stops and orders placed above the previous high. Okay, this is a fuel, and again, sometimes you will see price go from here. Alright, but you know, if it goes, it goes. It's not part of my personal edge. I like to play from the extremity. So yeah, price will hopefully come back up into this strong supply level that has created the flip between demand and supply. It has swept liquidity. So sorry, are we saying from the point of interest that created a 15-minute flip? Yes. Do we have flip inducement? Yep. So the fuel before the flip. Then are we showing from an area that swept liquidity? Very important on the 15-minute that we've swept fuel, because if we haven't swept the fuel, we become the fuel. And then yeah, we'll be going down to our 1 minute and looking for our execution entry model in 1 minute. So again, a little additional cherry. Sorry, I say again because I just made this video on demand. Would be that we have the Asian sweep. So this would be the Asian market here. Then we'll be coming into London Open, you know, after 7 AM, and then we'll be coming up, creating a higher high, higher low, higher high, sweeping previous high, which ideally would be in our 15-minute point of interest now. High low, failing to create the higher high. Okay, so it's had the chance to continue. Now supply breaks demand serve. Okay, and we want to see this minimum on the 1 minute. Okay, we want to see a 1 minute continue the trend long, and then the chock is a change of character, a change of trend, simply where the low that created this new high is now broken. So we've got a change of character and trend. Has there been a flip? It's the same detail. I'm sure you're starting to see here that, you know, price action is fractal. Yeah, we're looking for the same things in all the time frames. And once we see that on the higher time frame, supply is serving, and then on the 15-minute time supply is serving, and now when we see on the 1 minute that supply breaks demand serve, okay, there's more supply than demand in the market, then that's putting probabilities way in our favour to look for sells. Okay, so same detail, we have our inducement, which is where the market will see these breakout traders. They'll have all the stops and orders above the previous high. We don't want to become this liquidity. We want to sweep it for our move. Okay, and again, sometimes we go from here. It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, but I guess I'm happy to wait out for the extremity. So yeah, do we have a minimum chock? Yes. Has there been a flip? Yes. Have we swept liquidity? Very important. We want our point of interest to have swept the fuel, as I just said a minute ago. If you haven't swept the fuel, you are the fuel. And do we have 1 minute inducement? And we want fuel to sweep. We want fuel for the next move. Okay. That should do it. And that's what we're looking for this trade now. To be looking for sells. Cheers, guys. See you in a bit. Hey up, everyone. How you doing? Before we jump onto the charts to break these trades down, just want to apologise if there's any background noise, as we've got a bit of a full house at the moment, including the dogs, and some construction going on next door. So yeah, first payday is to get a good mic, huh? But anyway, enough of that. Let's get onto the chart and break down the trades I took yesterday. And as per, because this is the next day, I'm just going to mark the high of the 15-minute here to note where we will start to look for shorts from. Because when we go to the daily, yeah, that bit bullish green bit there hadn't actually happened yet. And yeah, what are we looking at on the daily? So yeah, we have had, continuing on from our last trade recap, we've got demand range order flow, demand swing structure order flow, And we were aware that we had tapped into the strong level of daily supply that had swept liquidity, dropped inducement before flipping a strong level of demand back here. Right. But as I said, I wasn't going to be looking for shorts. It's not classed as a sweep in my eyes until we actually start breaking levels of demand. And on the 4 hour, I actually had a second look at this and saw that we were breaking levels of demand. So I was quite interested to see if this sweep would be valid and see if we'll start seeing a bit of a deeper pullback. So I've got this down as a counter trend trade because we're counter trend on the daily, but it fits our criteria in that we've mitigated a point of interest, had a chance to sweep liquidity, continue the trend long, fail, swept, dropped inducement, melted off. So this is a strong point of interest, and now we're starting to see the lower time frames get supporting it as well. A bit more apparent on the 4 hour. Let's go ranges. So on the previous trade recaps, I wasn't giving this too much attention, and then I started giving it a bit of a closer look. And yeah, we've had this sweep, and we've had a demand to supply range flip and a bit of supply range order flow. And if you remember, I actually had this, which is still justified, still strong enough, still strong, as a POI demand that's holding. Okay, but if I actually followed it on, excuse the dogs, we actually continued range order flow, point of interest order flow, right? Hang on, let me get these up here. This point of interest here broke out this demand range, wicked above this swing structure, and this is the point of interest that's been getting tested, failed, testing, failed, dropped inducement, and then actually got broken. So I was like, oh, we're actually seeing levels of demand getting broken here. Then we've got our point of interest up here, the extremity above all this nice liquidity. After this sweep, granted we haven't actually mitigated anything too strong on the 4 hour here, but this is in our daily point of interest as well, and I believe in a weekly. Yeah, in a weekly point of interest as well. And the 4 hour still, I think we're mitigating some wicks. No, I mean, yeah, it's still above a flip level. I mean, really, actually, we are. Yeah, yeah, a bit wicky. Bit more clear on a 15 minute, which we'll go down to in a bit. But yeah, so we're breaking levels of 4 hour demand now after this sweep. So I was happy with all this inducement to start looking for shorts as well. So what's that on the higher time frame? Well, we said from a point of interest to create a flip, very strong on the daily and now also on the 4 hour as well. We're not pro trend, as I said, we're counter trend trade now. So let's look at the 15 minute. Get rid of that. Okay, so I took 3 trades yesterday. Yeah, aggressive, going for it. So I'm actually just going to mark these up further along this way. So this was the high. We're coming into an Asian sweep, which was nice. It's about 8:30, which is a nice time of day as well. I like. We can start off by this first trade. We actually took a loss the first 2, these 2 pages here, and then we took a win the third one. And we can see I was looking at, this is a nice point of interest here because it's tested this level of demand quite a lot. We swept, come down, got tested, lots of testing, lots of testing, lots of testing, come back up, swept and broken off. Yeah, and I'm seeing this as the order flow of this point of interest here. Yes, this looks very messy. On the 1 minute this becomes a bit clearer, and you can say that I'm looking for a 15 minute point of interest within here. by seeing these sell to buy wicks that swept, got tested, and then broke off. And yeah, that's probably one note to take away here from these first two losing trades, is I'm playing from this area. And is that really clean? I mean, and you'll find as well, I definitely find, that you can always find something in the charts if you really want to see something, if you really want to see the edge. If you look hard enough, you can make it make sense in your head. And the secret is, you want these kind of setups to jump out at you. Okay, the second you start forcing it, that's when you can start seeing some mistakes. But you know, I'm liking this range order, this order flow. Higher time frame narrative is pretty good. And yeah, I've got to stop lighting my incense in the morning because it smokes me out. Right, so let's go on the 15 minute. Do we have flip inducement on the 15 minute and a higher time frame? I mean, so much. You know, this is the inducement here. Inducement. It's more on the higher time frame. Flip inducement, so that's sweet. Create a flip. Sorry. Again, yeah, this is messy, isn't it? It's not the cleanest. This is create a flip, which is actually where we end up getting our win from. Go into the extremity of this point of interest, into this wick. As this, it's kind of wicking more in the 1 minute. So, you know, whoops. Are we selling from an area that's got liquidity? Yeah. Alright, let's go down to the 1 minute. Yeah. I did like this in the 1 minute, right? Because we've had a chock up here. I didn't play from this high because I didn't really see the clean flip interaction yet. We had the chock, but I was like, where's the flip? I saw this level as demand, which was like broken structure here. Moving on up, come down, and this level, right, has swept liquidity. Now, how we talk about on our entry picture perfect. So demand now has swept liquidity, mitigated, and it failed to create a high. So it's had a fair chance to continue this trend long, but it didn't. Instead, it came back down, got tested, dropped some inducement, and broke off. Where's my inducement? Never mind. Inducement. I was like, cool, okay. Let's have a look. See what goes on. There was two areas here, because look, we have got inducement here, and there was a little bit of the 5-second badger going on in here as well. And I said if we get a real clean 5-second setup in this one, I was happy to have a look. But we didn't. Again, why I like 5 seconds. Just a little extra confirmation. We had this level of demand here, came up, mitigated. I thought, okay, if this little level of demand here gets broken, I'll play from this point of interest here. But it didn't. It came up, demand held, pushed up into this extremity point of interest. I think I hit straight away. I don't think I waited. Did I? Can't remember now. No. Okay, so we got like a bit of a flip going on here. Mitigate this. So I was like, we're in. So first trade was at 3 minutes past 9. 26 seconds. 3 minutes past 9 at 369. 369 for a nice stop loss. 3 minutes past 9. Yeah, I'm waiting for that little bear push there after this mitigation. And she didn't last long. I think she went straight through. Oh, a little bit. So that was that loss there. I'm going to say that's more from the 15-minute point of interest not being that strong there. But yeah, 1 minute setup was pretty nice. I'll take all that. Let's move on to the next trade. So not too far from this point. Just hide this for now. Let's go back to the 15 minutes. So high time frame narrative still the same. Right, yeah, I'm playing right in the extremity of this. I'm seeing this kind of order flow extremity. Remember, this is like more on the 4-hour flip inducement and flip, tap, swept liquidity, mitigated, come back down, tested, failed, broken. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing this as the big flip inducement, but yeah, lesson to take away, not so clean on the 15 minute. We still want the 15 minute to be clean as well. I'm going to show you down here on the 1 minute because this is kind of a bit cleaner on the 1 minute. You start reading price action within wicks. So I believe our previous trade was, yeah, this kind of testing this level of demand, went up, swept liquidity, dropped inducement, broke off. And trade 2 is going right up into the extremity of this area. And I was like, right, if we get a 1 minute setup, I still like it. Let me just pause and go back to where we are. So now I'm mitigating this real extremity of that order flow supply level. And just get rid of that. Let's go down to the 1 minute. We've now got our liquidity within our point of interest, which is nice, and the additional cherry, Asian sweep still. And yeah, level of demand here, pushed up, broke out these levels, even dropped a bit of inducement as well, so this is like a strong level of demand. Come up, this price action will go down to in a second, but it was very nice in a 5 second. Came down, got tested, fell, swept this liquidity. Yeah, so if demand's got a chance to bloody incense, I'm going to stop doing that. So if demand's got a chance to continue here, you know, it's got the fuel, it's got the inducement, mitigated a strong level of demand. Let's see if it will continue. But it didn't. It got broken. Dropping all this inducement for shorts. Got a chock, got a flip. Everything's looking nice. 5 second. Now if we saw this on a weekly or the daily, level of demand here, I just see gap as a good push. Getting tested, fail, tested, come up, sweep, mitigated, come down, test, fail, break off. I was like, that's pretty nice in the 5 seconds. Imbalance and all this not being mitigated yet. And yeah, I went straight on to execute, I think. I don't think I waited for a confirmation. I was happy to just go straight for it. This was now at 9:40, 27, 417. Alright, trade 2. 9:40, 417, 450, 417, 9:40. Yeah, there you go. It was there. I obviously didn't move my risk reward tool. 450, 45. Oh, it's like that. Yeah, I think I just tapped straight away. And this one, did it play? Yeah, went straight through me. Chargy, oh no, man. So 2% down now. Kind of walked away from the computer. Was a bit like, am I pushing something here? Am I got the high time frame narrative wrong? What am I looking at? I think this is where I really started having a deep hard look at the 15-minute time frame as well, and thought, okay, that's probably not the cleanest. Played a bit of guitar, chilled for a second, and I've got to say, this next trade, I'll try not to waffle too much about all this now, but I think before I used to just write 2%, you're not in the right headspace or something, let's not revenge trade, let's not do FOMO or anything. Just forget today, walk away, go home, play guitar, go to the beach, do whatever. But I was thinking a bit like tennis. I was like, you know, if you're 30 love down and you just missed 2 service points, you've got to regroup, the setup's still there, then have a look and see what's going on, you know. Stay calm, stay present. If the ages sets itself up, allow probabilities to play out, be consistent in execution, and let's have a little see if this high time frame setup is going to give us something. So I think I was away from the mark charts for a bit here. Yeah, it must have been around here. It happened pretty quick in where I came back to the computer and I started seeing this price action form, and I was like, ooh, nice. We'll mark the high. So what's changed here compared to these couple of levels here? Okay, these two losses. What's changed with this point of interest? This has now swept this kind of messy price action, what we've just been playing from, and mitigated this lovely price action. Look at that. This level demand got tested, gone up, swept, mitigated supply order flow, come down, sweeping liquidity, gotten chance to continue, but failing, mitigating, failing, mitigating, coming up, sweeping loads of liquidity, pushing down. Didn't have a really flip inducement here, but on the 4 hour, that's our flip inducement, very juicy flip inducement. We're right now into the smack bang of this point of interest. That's been come down, tested, broken. Okay, so I was like, okay, right, this is actually looking a lot cleaner now. And what really looked clean was the 1 minute entry. You see that? See how this level of demand here has tested this level. I know I'm going to waffle on about these flips and we kind of get a bit lost in price action, where's flipped and who's doing what, but it's just to see like a strong level of demand, right, because it's broken through supply, right, so this is now a strong level of demand on the 1 minute, but supply has now mitigated strength. I've got to show you on the 1 minute what that's mitigated as well. Look at that. Lovely. Right on that buy to sell wick. That swept, mitigated this extremity. It was just, you're silly not to take this, you know. Hang on. So a high time frame narrative all ticked off. Everything's looking lovely. Same detail as the last two trades. Clean. Right, 1 minute. And again, so this was the psychological side of things a bit, which I was really happy with, to be honest with you. That before I used to just be like, right, go away. Now it's like, no, the edge is still there, you know, back the edge. And if this level of demand goes after getting tested, failing to break the high, and then goes, I'm like, that's the setup, Mish. Whoops. And it goes. It was about there. Right, now this is something what I want to cover because, whoops. This was a lovely, warm, fuzzy feeling to think that the universe is really on our side. You know what I mean? You can have trades sometimes go the other way where you don't have the best feels or anything like that and you think everything's against you. But there's days like today where, yeah, it was on our side in the fact that I was looking at this point of interest here, right? And Look, I was expecting this high to be held. What have I done here? Yeah, this was the high to hold, and it didn't hold. But I was like, market execute ready for when this lights up, right? And it just really rocketed into it, but I was like, I'm holding it. I don't care. I'm marking executing. And I got a lovely feel, went a little bit deeper into our point of interest. So the third one was at 2 minutes past 10, 441. 2 minutes past, I think it was there. There you go, 2 minutes past 10, 05, 07. Okay, so like literally within that little wick there. And yeah, so I'd hit market execute as it was coming in here, and I got filled just up here. And when I saw this, I was like, oh fucking hell, 3 in a row. And I've now gone through the cover, and I was like, the whole high time frame narrative must be wrong. But she held. Universe is on your side. So if I didn't get a good fill here, probably would have got taken out. You know, well, maybe it would have been close. But she held, which was lovely. We start to melt off. And then, yeah, I'm going to waffle on a little bit here about the psychological side of things stuff here. Because, bearing in mind, I'm down 2% today already. And you just want to see this just drop. You know, just be short and sweet. You probably notice a lot of my trades that we're in and out of the market pretty quick. And I like that. I like that a lot. I don't really want to be in the market for hours. And this trade, we're in it for a couple of hours. Yeah, almost 2 hours. And it was playing around a lot. But I had this level of demand here. I wanted to see it go. But when we were getting all this price action, I'm like, full risk is on the table still. We're playing around this area. I'm just distracting myself off playing guitar and chilling. But yeah, you know, like felt pretty surprisingly calm. I think before I used to be flappy and be like just dying to get to break even or just protect this 3%. And then when we saw that level go, I'm not going to move to break even. You know, I didn't want to choke the trade. I'm like, you know, be confident with the edge, but forget about these previous 2 trades. Reading a fantastic book at the moment called Thinking Fast and Slow. And there's a little, what's the word? Not algorithm, mnemonic he uses of what you see is all there is, which is basically like another way I see it of being present. Like what we see now is all there is. Forget about the previous stuff and the future stuff. Whatever is going on now is all there is. This is the only stuff we can pay attention to and focus on, right? So that's what I was practicing. I was like, if this was like the very first trade of the day or whatever, and forget the losses, you know, we're seeing levels of demand get broken. We're in a high. I'm not going to go through the whole trade setup again, but you know, this is the edge. Back it. This is nice price action. All right, so I'm not going to move to break even and choke it just because I don't want to lose any more of the day. And yeah, we got a nice reaction. That level of demand got broken. And then she played around some more. I was like, is this, because this is quite strong still. See this price action, we're looking for longs. Fair one, you know. But I was like, no, we're going to stick to our higher time frame narrative here. And see if this sweep is going to follow through. It mitigates, sweeps liquidity. I believe on the 5 seconds, this is all looking really juicy. I'm just going to hide this and just see the price action for what it is. Look, starting from the top, not the bottom. So there's demand, gets tested, fails to break, comes down, little inside bar there, breaks off. That tiny inside bar gets mitigated. I know people don't like the 5 seconds, and I'm not a huge fan of it. unless we're in high probability areas, and it's just more information. Look, that's getting mitigated bang on. And then look, it's coming up. This has been the level of demand. That's come up, swept this liquidity, mitigate that point of interest, come down, tested, failed, dropped inducement, off we go, come up, it's mitigated this perfectly after sweeping liquidity. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. This is what you call order flow. If you saw this on, the daily, the weekly, the 4 hour, these are strong points of interest. You'll be playing from, and you can just see how price action is fractal, and we're doing this on a 5 seconds too. So, I've seen some nice supply order flow here. See, come up, getting mitigated again, doing the same, test this level of demand, that came up, mitigated, came down, get tested, failed. Does it break from here? I know it does, because you've got the POI mark from it. See? Yeah, it's all like fractal. And again, I really can't stress this enough. Don't get stuck in the 5 seconds any old where. Because this price action's always happening. But the fact that it's happening in a strong high time frame point of interest and area of interest and all that kind of good stuff, then it's just nice to see. So I was following the supply order flow. Maybe I should be away from the computer and just not watching this, but I felt pretty calm and chilled. But yeah, full risk still on the table. Coming down to another strong level of demand here. And I was like, come on baby, if you just broke through this level of demand, we're good to go. This is now sunset. I want to be at the beach, but I actually just went up on a roof and watched the sunset from here, which was nice. Playing guitar, chilling, testing this level of demand. Okay, I came back and had a little look here. Alright, see how I've got the chalk marked out? Because I was like, do you want to back this? Should we hedge it? Am I willing to be like, if this is going to take all this out, maybe I want to be in a long. Because look, we're in a strong point of interest. This will be a pro-trend trade. And I thought, this could be hedged. I've been known to do a couple of little cheeky hedges in the past. But then I was looking at it with fresh eyes. What you see is all there is. And I was like, is that our entry setup for longs? No. At the end of the day, supply is still breaking levels of demand, breaking this level of demand, breaking this level of demand, breaking this level of demand, breaking this level. Well, this is still holding for now, but there's no reason for me to actually look for a hedge here. There's no levels of supply getting broken at the moment. Supply is serving. So I was like, no, I didn't do that. And I'm glad I didn't, because mailed off. Right, so I did the whole, counter trend 1 to 4 anyway, but I did that lovely, I really do like this, of the second it gives me the opportunity to move my stop loss up to lock in 1 to 4 and take it. I think it's happened like twice in the past whenever I've played around with my management, in where I do that and it kind of carries on melting and I sneak in an extra % or 2. And I really do like this way of trading. I'm way more comfortable looking at the chart now. I don't really care about setting take profits and walking away. I'm happy to be in my room, playing guitar, chilling and watching this. So I like this way of management. So I locked in 1 to 4 and got taken out straight away, which is fine. So I moved the stop loss up to 301, got taken out at 302. Can't do my maths. 11.52, 30, got taken out at 302. There. So I did have 1 to 4, but just got broker took me out at just under. And fucking long, intense, good time to practice. Yeah, I was practicing meditating and chilling during this, and I was pretty happy with it. There's bits of me who've been doing that. I'm going to do a little waffle. I'm obsessed with like sauna at the moment, and like I'm not in there as just like luxury. Like I really enjoy like training it, like this whole delaying the gratification, building that muscle up of like, you want to get out. This is really uncomfortable. no, just stay in, get comfortable being uncomfortable, delay that gratification of feeling cool, and getting out. There's parts of it as well where I almost feel like I got a bit of claustrophobia from getting stuck in a cave years ago with adventure training with the army, and I find it's really helping that as well. So I'm loving the sauna benefits. But I was thinking that with this, you know what I mean? I was like, I feel like this muscle of delaying gratification is really kind of seeing its rewards a bit, and I feel comfortable with just staying in this trade until the end here. I don't know if there's anything else to cover. I did have a little waffle on about some things. Here's my comments. Alright, yeah. Oh, did I not? I swear I wrote something up. Maybe it was the end of the day. There you go. Yeah, loads of opportunities to just be like scared and be like, right, break even. But look, I could have been taken out if I moved to break even around these areas. But didn't. Yeah, you know what I mean? I want to be aware of these things because I'm very good at being harsh on myself and be like, oh, you fucking dickhead. But on days where I feel like we got very lucky with staying in here, and also I believe we got lucky here with taking the 1-4. Like, look at that, like a couple of pips, and she actually starts pulling back, and we actually start seeing levels of supply now get broken. But at this point, I'm away from the computer. I mean, spicy. Oh. Okay. Fucking hell. What's that? Is that news? Do we have? I think news and news. Yeah, there was news. So we would have been out by then anyway. Don't want to trade live account with news around. So that would have sucked to be watching this come back to around this area 2 minutes before news, close the account, and I would have been like, yeah, nothing. So very, yeah, universal on our side, kept us in, good feel, 1-4s, just perfect, fucking perfect. Yeah, it's good to have a bit of luck on your side now and then, hey? Right, I think that'll probably be enough waffle. So that's 3 trades covered in one there. Yeah, how important is the 15-minute as well? I'm sure there's other things I wanted to waffle on about because I love talking, but I won't bore you too much. Hope that helps, guys. And yeah, I'll see you on the next trade. Take it easy. Bye. So as per, I just want to show the proof that we're actually taking these trades. Obviously, I've already shown this a few times in this video. There's the times, and check all the figures match up with our FTMO now. So the challenge, we're now up almost 5%, and our live account, which is this one, is all syncs up, and we're copying that over on our trade copier again. So that was our live account copied over to our challenge, and yeah, here's the proof for the trades. Alright, cool. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.